Saudi Arabia is a land of extremes where ancient tombs meet futuristic cities, and golden deserts stretch beside pristine coastlines. It's not just an oil-rich kingdom, it's a place where history whispers through ruins, and tomorrow rises from the sand in steel and glass. From lost civilizations to mega projects that defy logic, we're diving into Saudi Arabia's most mind-blowing marvels. But first, here are some incredible facts about this remarkable Arab nation. The kingdom experiences one of Earth's most extreme temperature ranges, creating a land of impossible contrasts. While summer temperatures soar beyond 50 degrees Celsius in the desert, the mountainous Asir province receives snow in winter, with temperatures dropping below freezing. The Sarawat Mountains rise over 3,000 meters above sea level, creating microclimates where coffee plants grow naturally and ancient juniper forests thrive. This is a country where you can experience both scorching desert heat and mountain snow within the same day, depending on elevation and location. Most astonishing of all, Saudi Arabia has no permanent rivers or lakes, making it one of the most water-scarce nations on Earth. Yet the kingdom operates the world's largest desalination program, producing over 5 million cubic meters of fresh water daily from seawater. This desert nation literally creates water from the ocean, transforming salt water into the lifeblood that sustains cities, agriculture, and ambitious developments. Advanced desalination plants along the Red Sea and Persian Gulf coastlines work around the clock, turning an impossible environment into a thriving modern nation. Hegra. 111 monumental tombs rise from the earth, 94 of them adorned with intricate facades that tell stories of a forgotten empire. While crowds crush through Jordan's famous Petra, this place remains untouched by mass tourism. For almost 2,000 years, Hegra has been practically undisturbed, a ghost city waiting in the silence of the desert. Once the Nabatean kingdom's southernmost stronghold and second largest city after Petra, this was where empires were built on frankincense and myrrh. The Nabateans didn't just carve stone, they carved history into the very landscape. Every delicate detail etched into the golden Qiddiya sandstone speaks of master craftsmen whose techniques remain a mystery to modern engineers. Walking through these tombs feels like stepping through a portal into another world. The silence is profound, broken only by wind carrying sand across carved doorways that once welcomed kings and merchants from across the ancient world. Each facade tells a different story. Each inscription holds secrets that archaeologists are still unraveling after decades of study. The preservation here is extraordinary. Unlike other ancient sites worn down by centuries of weather and human interference, Hegra's isolation protected it from destruction. The dry desert climate acted as a natural preservative, keeping intricate carvings as sharp as the day they were completed. But while ancient mysteries emerge from the past, something that sounds like pure fantasy rises from the present, defying every convention of urban planning. The line. Forget everything you know about cities. Someone looked at traditional urban planning and decided to rewrite the rules entirely. The result is a structure 170 kilometers long, 500 meters tall, and 200 meters wide, designed to house 9 million people in a single continuous building that stretches across desert, mountains, and coastline. The scale defies comprehension. Over 140,000 workers labor across the construction site, having already placed 1,000 massive foundation piles that anchor this impossible dream to reality. The project is so enormous that it consumes 20% of the world's entire steel production. 20% of every piece of steel manufactured on Earth. the first 2.4-kilometre section targets completion by 2030, while the full 170-kilometre vision extends to 2045. This isn't just construction, it's the physical manifestation of human ambition stretched to its absolute limits. Inside this linear city, artificial intelligence will control everything from transportation to climate, creating a completely self-contained ecosystem. The structure will be entirely mirrored on the outside, reflecting the changing desert landscape while hiding the incredible complexity within. Residents will never need cars, as high-speed rail will transport them anywhere in the city within minutes. The building will be powered entirely by renewable energy, making it one of the world's most sustainable urban environments. From ambitious futures to dramatic pasts written in stone and earth, where geological forces created natural wonders that took millions of years to form. Edge of the world. Drive 90 minutes from Riyadh, and suddenly the earth just ends. You're standing on cliffs that drop 1,000 feet into an ancient ocean bed, with uninterrupted views stretching to the horizon. The silence here is different, deeper, older, more profound than anything you've experienced. This is the edge of the world, and when you're standing there, you understand why they named it that. These cliffs are part of an 800-kilometre escarpment formed 50 million years ago, when the Arabian Plate shifted toward the northeast as the Red Sea began opening. 50 million years ago, this was underwater, teeming with marine life. Now it's a dramatic cliff face, where you can still find fossils embedded in the rock, remnants of ancient seas that once covered this land. The Tuwaik Escarpment, as geologists call it, stretches from the northern borders all the way to the Empty Quarter in the south. At the edge of the world, the escarpment reaches its most dramatic expression, creating a natural amphitheatre where earth meets sky in perfect harmony. The wind carries stories here, stories of geological forces so powerful they reshaped continents. As you explore the rugged terrain, each step reveals traces of creatures that swam these waters when the world was young. Fossilized shells, coral formations, and ancient marine organisms tell the story of a time when this desert was an ocean floor. But Saudi Arabia isn't just preserving ancient wonders. They're building new ones that sound like they came from a child's wildest imagination, places where reality bends to accommodate impossible dreams. Qiddiya City. What if someone gave you unlimited money and said, build the ultimate playground for an entire city? That's exactly what happened here. They're building the world's first destination created specifically for play, and the scale is beyond anything ever attempted in human history. This playground sprawls over 360 kilometers and will house over 600,000 residents who live in a city designed around fun, adventure, and imagination. It's not just a theme park with hotels nearby. It's an entire urban environment where entertainment is the primary industry and joy is the main export. The attractions break every record imaginable. They're building the world's tallest, longest, and fastest roller coaster at Six Flags Qiddiya, a ride so extreme it will be visible from space. But here's the part that sounds impossible. They're also creating the world's only Dragon Ball theme park, complete with a 70-meter-high Shenron statue. That's a 23-story dragon rising from the desert, its golden scales gleaming under the Arabian sun. The city will feature a 45,000-seat stadium with a retractable roof, pitch, and LED wall that can display anything from live events to high-definition films. When not hosting football matches, the stadium transforms into an entertainment venue unlike anything on Earth. Beyond the attractions, Qiddiya represents a new model of urban living, where work and play integrate seamlessly. residents can walk to world-class entertainment from their homes, creating a lifestyle that prioritizes happiness and human connection. Speaking of things rising from the desert, there's a geological wonder that just earned global recognition for its extraordinary beauty and scientific importance. Wahbah Crater. In 2024, this volcanic crater was ranked among the world's top 100 geological heritage sites by UNESCO and the International Union of Geological Sciences. Not top 100 in the Middle East or the Arab world. Top 100 on the entire planet Earth. The numbers tell only part of the story. This crater measures 2.3 kilometers in diameter and 250 meters deep, making it the largest volcanic crater in Saudi Arabia and one of the most perfectly preserved on Earth. But size isn't what makes it magical. At the bottom, white salt flats create patterns that shift colors throughout the day, from pearl white in the morning to golden amber at sunset. These aren't ordinary salt deposits, they're sodium phosphate crystals that formed over thousands of years, creating a natural artwork that changes with the light. This crater formed 1.147 million years ago from a massive underground explosion when molten basaltic magma met groundwater in what geologists call a phreatomagmatic eruption. The explosion was so powerful, it literally blew the Earth apart, creating a perfect circular crater that has remained virtually unchanged for over 1 million years. Standing on the rim, you're looking into the Earth's violent past, witnessing the incredible forces that shape our planet. The crater sits within the Harat Kishab volcanic field, which contains 175 volcanic cones spread across 6,000 square kilometers. The silence here is profound, broken only by wind carrying salt crystals across the crater's edge. Around the crater's rim, date palm plantations and natural springs create an oasis effect, making this one of the few places in Saudi Arabia where you can find green vegetation growing naturally in the desert. From ancient explosions to modern luxury that's redefining what's possible when unlimited resources meet unlimited imagination. Amaala. This luxury destination opens in 2025 with its first phase featuring 8 resorts designed to blend seamlessly with the natural environment while pushing the boundaries of sustainable luxury. But calling Amaala a resort is like calling the Sistine Chapel a painted ceiling. It misses the revolutionary nature of what's being created. Amaala spans 68 kilometers of pristine Red Sea coastline and runs entirely on renewable energy, generated by solar farms and wind installations. They're not just building a destination, they're targeting a 30% net conservation benefit to local ecosystems by 2040. That means the place will actually improve the environment after they build it, creating more coral reef, mangrove forests, and marine life than existed before construction began. The centerpiece, the Ritz-Carlton Amaala, will be the largest property in the Red Sea region with 391 rooms and suites. Over 80% of those rooms offer direct Red Sea views, where guests wake to turquoise waters stretching to the horizon. But the real magic happens underwater, where guests can dive with whale sharks, swim through coral gardens, and explore underwater art installations. The development includes Corallium, a marine life institute that combines guest experiences with cutting-edge conservation research. Scientists here are developing new techniques for coral restoration and marine ecosystem enhancement, while guests observe their work through underwater viewing galleries. But beneath Amaala's luxury lies something deeper, a commitment to proving that development and conservation can work together to create something better than what existed before. Every resort, every facility, every experience is designed to demonstrate that humans can be a positive force for environmental change. Diriyah. This was the original home of the House of Saud and served as the capital from 1727 to 1818. For nearly a century, this mud brick city was the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, where decisions were made that would shape the future of the entire region and influence global politics for centuries to come. The city reached its peak under the first Saudi state when it controlled vast territories across the Arabian Peninsula and sent expeditions as far as Iraq and Syria. Merchants, scholars, and pilgrims from across the Islamic world came here to trade, study, and seek political alliances. Then Ottoman forces destroyed it in 1818 after a brutal siege that lasted 6 months. The royal family fled to exile, and Diriyah became a ghost town, its palm groves cut down and its buildings reduced to ruins. For nearly 2 centuries, only the desert winds inhabited these once proud streets. But here's the remarkable part. The At Turaif district was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2010, recognizing its crucial role in Arabian history. They've transformed these ruins into a stunning historical experience that brings the past to life without destroying its authenticity. Walking through the restored streets feels like traveling through time. The architecture tells stories of desert kingdoms, international trade routes, and the birth of modern Saudi Arabia. Traditional Najdi architecture, with its distinctive triangular patterns and wind towers, has been carefully restored, using original techniques and materials. At night, the ancient walls glow under carefully placed lights, creating an atmosphere that's both haunting and beautiful. The sound of water flowing through traditional irrigation channels mingles with the call to prayer from restored mosques, recreating the sensory experience of life in the original capital. Now imagine combining that historical significance with futuristic industrial design that exists nowhere else on Earth. Neom Oxagon. An octagon-shaped floating city designed as a new center of industry and trade that will revolutionize how we think about manufacturing and urban development. This isn't a concept drawing gathering dust in an architect's office. It's under construction right now in the Red Sea. Oxagon represents something unprecedented, the world's first floating industrial complex that operates as a complete city. They're literally building a city on water that will manufacture everything from hydrogen fuel to advanced electronics, while providing homes, entertainment, and services for 90,000 residents. The city floats on the Red Sea, its octagonal shape creating protected harbors, while its modular design allows for endless expansion. As demand grows, new sections can be added to the floating platform, making Oxagon potentially unlimited in size. The industrial facilities will be powered entirely by renewable energy, making this the world's cleanest manufacturing center. Artificial intelligence will control everything from production, schedules, to waste management, creating a completely automated industrial ecosystem. And speaking of unprecedented, there's a building that breaks every rule of architecture while creating new possibilities for human creativity. Maraya concert hall literally reflecting each other across the desert, creating a philosophical statement about time, memory, and human achievement. The building's mirror facade changes throughout the day, reflecting sunrise colors at dawn, the harsh beauty of midday sun, and the golden hues of sunset. At night, interior lighting transforms it into a glowing jewel that can be seen for miles across the desert. Inside, the concert hall features acoustics designed by world-renowned specialists, creating perfect sound quality for everything from classical music to contemporary performances. International artists perform here against a backdrop of infinite reflections, creating performances that exist nowhere else on Earth. From architectural marvels to environmental conservation on an impossible scale that challenges everything we thought we knew about development and nature. Red Sea Project. This development covers 28,000 square kilometers and is surrounded by the world's fourth largest barrier reef system. To put that in perspective, it's larger than many European countries, yet every aspect is designed to enhance rather than harm the environment. The project includes over 90 untouched islands, pristine beaches, dormant volcanoes, and mountain canyons that have remained unchanged for millions of years. They're not just preserving this ecosystem, they're actively improving it while building luxury resorts that seem to float above the coral reefs. Construction uses revolutionary techniques that actually enhance marine life. Artificial reefs provide new habitats for fish, while carefully designed resorts increase water circulation and coral growth. The result is an environment that becomes more beautiful and biodiverse after development than it was before. Solar farms and wind installations provide all energy needs, while advanced water treatment systems ensure that every drop returned to the sea is cleaner than when it was extracted. The project aims to achieve net positive environmental impact, meaning it will create more natural beauty than it consumes. But if you think building on tropical islands is ambitious, try building a ski resort in one of the world's hottest deserts. Trojena. They're creating a winter retreat in Saudi Arabia's mountains, transforming a region where summer temperatures hit 50 degrees Celsius into a snow-covered alpine paradise. In a desert country that has never seen natural snow, they're building ski slopes, ice hotels, and mountain resorts. The project will host the 2029 Asian Winter Games, bringing international winter sports competition to Saudi Arabia for the first time in history. Think about that. Olympic-level skiing and snowboarding in the Arabian Peninsula, where the idea of snow seems like fantasy. Trojena sits in the Neom Mountains at elevations up to 2,600 meters, where natural temperatures are cool enough to maintain artificial snow year-round. The development includes ski slopes, luxury lodges, mountain villages, and adventure sports facilities that take advantage of the dramatic mountain terrain. The centerpiece is a mountain resort that seems to grow from the rock itself, its architecture blending so seamlessly with the natural environment that it's difficult to tell where nature ends and human creation begins. Speaking of changing everything, there's a building that defies basic geometry while creating entirely new possibilities for urban living. Sindalah Island. This luxurious gateway to the Red Sea opened in 2024 as Neom's first operational luxury destination, serving as proof that the rest of Neom's ambitious projects are not only possible, but inevitable. The island demonstrates that Saudi Arabia's vision for ultra-luxury tourism is already becoming reality. The island features accommodations accessible only by yacht or private aircraft, creating a level of exclusivity that exists nowhere else on Earth. Guests arrive at a private marina or helicopter pad, immediately entering a world designed around their every need and desire. But Sindalah isn't just about luxury. It's about creating experiences that can't be found anywhere else. Guests can dive with whale sharks in the morning, dine on cuisine prepared by world-renowned chefs at midday, and watch performances by international artists in the evening, all on a private island that feels like their own personal paradise. But if above-ground luxury isn't exclusive enough, try going underground into a world that challenges every assumption about reality itself. Jeddah Tower. They're building the world's tallest building, and it's not just a little bit taller than Dubai's Burj Khalifa, it's potentially over 1 kilometer tall. That's 3,280 feet straight up into the Saudi sky. A structure so tall, it will be visible from space and create its own weather patterns. This tower represents Saudi Arabia's vertical ambitions and their determination to lead the world in architectural achievement. While other countries spread outward, consuming more land and resources, they're going up. Way up. The tower will house offices, residences, hotels, and entertainment facilities in a vertical city that functions independently of the ground below. The engineering challenges are unprecedented. At that height, the building must account for wind loads, seismic activity, and atmospheric pressure changes that no structure has ever faced. The elevator systems alone represent revolutionary technology, moving people efficiently across distances that stretch the limits of current engineering knowledge. Each of these projects represents something impossible, becoming inevitable, through sheer determination and unlimited resources. The same trade routes that connected ancient Arabia to the Mediterranean now host hyperloop systems in the line. Developments contributing billions to GDP while creating hundreds of thousands of jobs across every sector of the economy. This kingdom that once controlled ancient spice routes is now building the cities of tomorrow, the experiences of the future, and the dreams that will define human potential for generations to come. They're not just opening to the world, they're building a new one entirely. Al-Ula Sharaan Nature. Reserve deep in the heart of Al-Ula lies a secret that sounds like pure fiction. A nature reserve where extinct animals are being brought back to life. They're not using genetic engineering or cloning technology. They're doing something even more remarkable, recreating the ancient ecosystem of Arabia exactly as it existed 5,000 years ago. The Sharaan Nature Reserve covers 1,560 square kilometers of dramatic sandstone canyons, hidden valleys, and ancient rock formations that have remained virtually untouched since the dawn of civilization. But here's what makes this place extraordinary. They're reintroducing species that vanished from Arabia centuries ago, literally reversing extinction through conservation science. Arabian oryx, once completely extinct in the wild, now roam freely across landscapes where their ancestors grazed alongside ancient caravans. Nubian ibex leap across cliff faces they haven't touched for over 100 years. Sandcats, barely seen in the wild for decades, hunt beneath stars in valleys where their calls echo through the night for the first time in generations. The project goes far beyond simple reintroduction. They're rebuilding entire food chains from the ground up, re-establishing predator-prey relationships that sustained life in Arabia for millennia. Native vegetation is being replanted using seeds and collected from archaeological sites, creating forests and grasslands that mirror the landscape ancient civilizations once knew. But the most ambitious part is still coming. They're preparing to reintroduce the Arabian leopard, the last big cat native to the Arabian Peninsula. These magnificent predators haven't been seen in Saudi Arabia for over 40 years, surviving only in tiny populations in neighboring countries. By 2030, Arabian leopards will hunt again in the land where they once ruled as apex predators. The reserve operates like a time machine, allowing visitors to experience Arabia as it existed before human activity changed everything. Ancient trade routes wind through valleys where wildlife corridors now connect protected habitats, creating a living museum where past and present merge into something extraordinary. Standing in these restored landscapes feels like witnessing a miracle, proof that humans can undo centuries of environmental damage through determination, science, and unlimited commitment to making the impossible real. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through Saudi Arabia. We hope you've been inspired by its impossible wonders, ancient mysteries, and visionary transformations that are reshaping our understanding of what human ambition can achieve. From 2,000-year-old tombs to cities that haven't been built yet, this kingdom continues to surprise the world with each passing day. If you enjoyed this adventure through a land where the impossible becomes reality, be sure to subscribe for more explorations of the world's most extraordinary destinations.